Good morning and welcome to Medicare Made Simple with Medicare Myriam and her co-host Traci from Smart Caregiving. Medicare Made Simple is brought to you by United Insurance Experts. Call today 561-464-CARE. That's 561-464-CARE. Now here are Medicare Myriam and Traci with Medicare Made Simple.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Miriam Leyva with United Insurance Experts. United Insurance Experts is not affiliated with or endorsed by the government or the federal Medicare program. We do not offer every plan available in your area. Currently in Palm Beach County, we represent 10 organizations which offer 49 products. Please contact Medicare.gov at 1-800-MEDICARE to get information on all of your options. The purpose of this show is to educate you on Medicare and to connect you with valuable resource. Joining me is my co-host Traci Lamb from Caregiving Worldwide. Good morning, Traci.
Good morning, Miriam. So has your week been rainy?
Yes. Very rainy.
It was definitely upon us here in Florida.
Oh my goodness. I know it was needed because we did have a break, right? And I know our animals and plants need this wonderful rain, but boy, there was moments there I was like, can we get a break?
I know. Normally it's kind of like it'll rain for a couple hours and then it'll stop. But I mean, the last couple of days it's like been pretty much consistent the whole day long.
Yes, I think it was Wednesday. It was just horrible. At least for me in Boca, it was like nonstop. I didn't see the sun, not once.
Yeah, that's the way it was here in Tampa Tuesday. So,
okay.
It was that way Tuesday. And yesterday it was kind of like off and on. The sun did finally come out yesterday, but it was just in the morning it was really nasty too. So,
I was so sluggish on Wednesday too. I remember just like I need the sun.
We are spoiled here, without a doubt.
Yes, for sure. Well, with that rainy week, it kind of reminded me, of course, June, right? First was we're in hurricane season.
Yeah.
So today I'm actually going to be talking about how crucial it is for us to prepare, right, for hurricane season and to make sure we have all of our medications in place. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today and some other things. But I do want to talk about, little tips and, that you can do during hurricane season. It's just so crucial. So crucial.
Yep.
Because you really don't know, especially being in Florida. I'm a native Floridian. You just never know. These things just pop up and they're like, okay, you have 3 days, 4 days.
Exactly.
It's coming, And
True.
I remember when I went through Andrew, I was little. I was very little. I don't know if you've been in Florida that long, but.
Oh, yes. Yes, I've been in Florida longer than you.
Oh, okay.
So
I didn't know if you were in Florida.
I remember once before Andrew. So.
Geez. I do. That's as far as I remember, Andrew, but I was a small child. But I do remember how it impacted. We were in Boca at the time. Still in Boca, right? But it was bad. But my worst hurricane was Hurricane Wilma. I don't know if you remember that one. I was 18 or 19 years old with like $40 in my pocket. And with like a quarter of a tank in my car. We had to stand in line for 4 hours to get gas.
Yes.
And it was bad. I remember counting pennies at the BrandsMart to buy a grill so we can cook. It was bad. So today I kind of want to focus on how to keep, tips on prescriptions and medications. Like one of the things that I do recommend is to keep a list of all your medications in a waterproof bag. We know that your pharmacy has this list, but I remember when I went through Wilma, the machines were down. There was no power. So how can the pharmacy know, right, what your prescriptions are? So make sure you have a list of all your medications and keep all your medications in a bag. That's one of the tips. Also, can your medications survive excessive heat? So during this time, look at your medications, talk to your pharmacist, prepare, plan, right? We want to plan for the worst, even though we're going to be fine, but we just have to plan. Another thing is after being in a fridge, like insulin can remain stable at a room temperature for about 28 days, right? But make sure, with this Florida heat, it's best to keep it in a cooler. Don't use dry ice, which can freeze the medication. So be careful with that, okay? Talk to your pharmacist, get more information on your medication, especially if you're on insulin. Maybe there's something that you can buy to keep that safe. That's extremely important, because I remember when we had no power for like 2 weeks with Hurricane Wilma. I don't know about you, Tracy, but we had no power for 2 weeks. And I remember that the first 2 days, it was nice and cool because we still had those, that wind, right, from the hurricane. And then it just got really hot.
Yes.
So I know we need to prepare with other things like water and batteries and food, but I'm kind of just going over the medication and just some tips. Don't forget to stock up on over-the-counter medications. Okay, so if you have one of those Medicare Advantage plans that have over-the-counter credits, make sure to use them, because if you don't use them, you're going to lose it, right? So this is the time to use those over-the-counter credits and stock up on those over-the-counter medications, right? Like Tylenol, whatever you need, go ahead and use it up, okay? And if you don't know if you have an over-the-counter credit, you can always call the back of the card and they will tell you. Or if you're already working with an agent, or if I'm your agent, or United Insurance Experts, anybody there is your agent, just please contact us. We'll be more than happy to tell you if you have over-the-counter credits, or like I said, just call the back of the card and they'll be more than happy to tell you. Or if you have an account online, so let's just say you're with company A, create an account online with them, and on there it will tell you if you have over-the-counter credits, and you can actually order stuff online through their catalog. And this is with the Medicare Advantage plans. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them have like this over-the-counter credit that you can see if you have, okay? So again, prepare before, the storm, right? Yes. Also familiarize yourself with telehealth plans. A lot of these plans right now for 2024 do offer a telehealth coverage. So if it's a non-emergencies like allergies, sinus infection, earaches, things like that, that often can be treated without a trip to the doctor, especially, after a storm and you need to see your doctor, this is a great idea to make sure you're still seeing a doctor, or you could speak to someone. Also, a lot of these plans have 24-hour nurse over the phone. So if you have this option, you can go ahead and call them with any questions that you have. But make sure that you start looking at this now. Don't wait until, our weather channel is like, hurry up, we have a storm coming in a couple days this weekend. 24 hours. Yes. So just prepare for this. Get familiar with these options, with these coverages. Again, if we are your agents, you're welcome to call us 561-464-2273. Again, that number is 561-464-2273. If you have any questions about your coverage, like I said, it's best to be prepared and plan. A good number to keep on hand is American Red Cross number, 1-800-RED-CROSS, and the Federal Emergency Management Agency, right, FEMA, 1-800-621-3362. Again, the Red Cross number is 1-800-RED-CROSS, and the Federal Emergency Management Agency is 1-800-621-3362. So again, it's so important to stay safe, and I hope we're going to have a smooth and not so crazy hurricane season.
And nothing happened crazy.
No. Yes. But
just
Traci,
let them all stay out in the water and go away.
Yes. Traci, the floor is yours for our weekly valuable resource.
Sure, absolutely. Well, and honestly, as Myriam was saying, even about planning for hurricanes, part of what my message always has been is to plan for aging. We are all in the aging line. None of us, barring disaster, are getting out of it. So planning for life is always a good thing, whether you're planning for retirement, planning for aging, or planning for a hurricane. Just plan.
That's right.
It's true. So what I wanted to give you today was just a couple of different resources regarding the dementia Alzheimer's space. That has become a very big space, especially since COVID. I'm not really sure what happened with COVID, but it definitely caused a lot of cognitive issues with people. And people are having long-term effects from that. And there are a lot of different cognitive issues that people can have. And even dementia, I don't know if people know this or not, but there's like 30 different kinds of dementia. It's not just, oh, I have dementia. I mean, there's like 30 different kinds. And the same thing with Alzheimer's as well. So people need to understand that there's lots of different kinds, lots of different levels. You can have, my mom has been diagnosed now with early stage dementia. And, you know, she's only gotten lost once when she drove, but, you know, that's made me kind of a nervous wreck about that. And so you have to start and be aware. If somebody, my suggestion is that if you have somebody that you can tell that they're having cognitive decline. Like I can tell with my mom, you know, she forgets things so much easier. I mean, I literally can tell her something and 20 minutes later she's asking me the same question. And 6 months ago she wasn't doing that. And so I know that there's been cognitive decline there. Have the doctor actually run tests. They actually can run tests and tell you that's what's going on.
And Tracy, I'm sure that is so hard as a child to kind of admit and kind of see it, because you don't want to see it. You're like, no, it's fine. They just have a lot of stuff on their mind. It's just, you know, it's normal.
And it was my mom's biggest fear was to get this, because she doesn't want to get to where she doesn't recognize me or she doesn't recognize, you know, her friends at church or whatever. And, you know, it was her biggest fear. And so for quite a while there, she was just like, Tracy, I'm just old. You know, I'm just forgetting stuff because I'm old. And, you know, so for a while, I kind of dismissed it too. And I was like, okay. And so I go now to her doctor's appointments with her regularly, because she never remembers what the doctor said by the time she gets home. So I now have to go regularly with her to the doctor. And 2 times ago, I just said to the doctor, I said, can you do some tests about cognitive issues for her? And she goes, well, the last time we did them like a year ago, she was just fine. And I said, okay, the lot's changed in a year. You need to do them again.
Right.
And a lot of times you do have to advocate for your person and just say, you know, if things have changed and you are with the person 24/7 or you see them regularly and you can tell something's changed, you need to just go ahead and say, you know, I would rather you go ahead and test her. And it was interesting because they did 2 tests for my mother, actually 3. They do blood work, and they can actually see a change in the blood work. Mm-hmm. They also do a brain scan. And then they also do questions, and they ask them about 25 different questions. I mean, it's a lot. Normally, when she does little mini ones, she asks her like 5 questions. It's like 25 questions, and there are math questions in there. There are questions about like who's the president, who was the last 2 presidents, you know, different things like that they've got to remember backwards, those kinds of things. And she did not do well on the 25 questions. She did not do well. Like on the, bless her heart, on the money part, the lady said, you know, if you have $5 and you want to go into the store and buy a candy bar for $2.25, how much are you going to have left? And Mom sat there and she goes, well, I'd have 50 cents left. And it was just, and she was dead serious. And she asked her like 3 different questions that were math ones that were very basic. I mean, it was very basic. It was not difficult ones. And Mom's mind just couldn't do it. And she told me right then, she said, yeah, she's definitely had some cognitive, and she does have dementia.
And I'm sure, I'm not a doctor, but I'm sure the sooner you get the diagnosis, the better, right?
It is, because they started her that day on some medication to start helping with her cognitive decline. And she's taking some over-the-counter vitamins now to help with that as well. So there are things they can do to kind of slow it down. It will never go away. It basically is considered a terminal disease, which is why, you know, once it gets to a certain point, if you want help, you can go ahead and call hospice because it's considered terminal. and the person is not going to get any better. They are going to only continue to decline. But the two things I wanted to talk about today, one is a lady by the name of Lizette Cloete, Cloette. She does a free workshop for people she has a company called Think Different Dementia. And her free workshop, you can register for it at dementiacaregivingmadeeasy.com. And again, that's dementiacaregivingmadeeasy.com. And she is absolutely wonderful. She has dealt with dementia and Alzheimer's in both of her parents for the last, I don't know, at least 10, 15 years. She's also an occupational therapist. So she has been in the medical field for many, many, many years. She's very, very, very good. She does basically a free webinar that anybody can attend, and it's a Zoom, so you can attend from anywhere in the world that you want to listen in. She does a Q&A at the end, so you can ask questions and say, well, this is what's happening with my person, and this is kind of the challenges that I'm having. Fantastic class. I've started attending it because of my mom. Highly recommend it to anybody. Again, you can also look up the name of her company and go to her website. I believe her website is Think Different Dementia as well. And her name is Lizette. And again, her last name is Cloete, Cloette. And I would highly recommend that if you've got somebody that you're dealing with, whether they've got dementia or Alzheimer's. They're both so closely related. They're not the same thing, but they are very closely related. And so if you're dealing with a person like that, really as the person caregiving for that person, you're really going to need help, because it is going to get to a point to where, some of them can become very argumentative. I've noticed even with my mom has become more argumentative. And some of them can become combative. Even if your person has never been that way before, the disease can make them get that way. So you really do kind of need help navigating through that. The other company that I will tell you about is a company called CareLink 360. CareLink 360, and you can go to their website, carelink360.com. And this is actually a device. Looks like a big picture frame and sits on its own, and it's a touch screen, and it has over 40 different games in it, from easy to hard, that a person can play, and they're all absolutely fabulous. It also comes pre-programmed for every person. So like if my mom, if I were to get one for my mom, and I wanted my mom to be able to call me, her sister, and like her three best friends from church, I could actually program all those phone numbers and have them program that into this device. And all my mom would have to do is touch our picture, and she would automatically be connected with us. So it's a very, very simple way for, and then the person that is like the caregiver, like for me or any of the other people, they can download the app that comes with the device. And that way, when like my mom, if my mom were to hit the picture of me and she went to call me, she would call me through the app. And it would either come through my phone, or if you have an Apple Watch, it'd come through your Apple Watch, whatever. But it makes it very easy for them to be able to contact you, so they don't have to remember phone numbers and, all those kinds of things. They literally can just punch the person's face. The great thing, too, is that for the caregiver is that it actually collects data on the back end that the caregiver receives. So, like, let's say my mom decides to she gets this one puzzle that she really, really likes in the game in the device, and she does it like 3 times a week this week, and then 2 weeks later she does it 3 times 3 weeks later. It will collect the data of how long it took her to do the game each time. And so you can actually see the progression of, 2 weeks ago she was able to do that game 3 times, and it only took her 10 10 minutes each time. Now, 3 weeks later, she just did that same game 3 times, and now it's taking her 20 minutes. So obviously her cognitive has declined, and it actually gives you real results that you can actually take into your doctor and say, she's actually declining, and I can see she's declining. This is, it's taking her longer to do some of these same things that she's doing over and over again. And so it helps the doctor even to be able to diagnose or anything like that. It's a phenomenal, phenomenal product. CareLink 360 is the name of it. Again, CareLink360.com. You can just say that you were referred by Traci Lamb and from Caregiving Worldwide. And it's a phenomenal tool. I'm actually getting ready to order one for my mom. It has, and it can basically be a picture album as well, because it can sit on a desk or anything. So it can actually be a picture album. So it can have like pictures on there. So, I mean, there's just a ton of different things that it can do. And like I say, it does come pre-programmed. So you just let the company know, we need these numbers entered in so that when it comes, mom can call this person, this person, this person, and this person, and then they can go ahead and they can pre-program it. So when you get it, it literally is ready to go. And you don't have to remember a password or anything or no username. You literally just plug it in and it goes, which is awesome because my mom hates passwords and usernames. I mean, I can't remember passwords. Them. I know, I do too. And, it's beautiful because you literally just plug it in and it works, so they don't have to remember anything like that. So both of those, the Dementia Caregiving Made Easy.com with Lizette, that is the first one. And I believe the next webinar that is going to be happening is going to be on June 20th. So if you want to be a part of that next free webinar, just go there and register before June 20th and come and try it out. It's not gonna hurt to try it out and see, and everybody needs support.
Yes. And if you guys missed that and, for any reason, you are welcome to call us 561-464-2273. We'll be more than happy to connect you with any of these 2 products. If you have an interest or you would like to attend the webinar, that is June 20th. So again, if you missed that, please call us 561-464-2273. Thank you, Traci. Definitely, I love that, both of these products, they're amazing. CareLink 360, the whole report part, I think it's just so good because it's important for the child to know, okay, this is how mom or dad are doing, they're, what if, I know you said they're declining, but what if, if they're getting better or they're more, they're doing better than before, that could be a great thing. But at least or maybe just they're no decline at all and everything is great and they're enjoying this product. So again, if you guys missed that, 561-464-2273, we'll be more than happy to connect you. Talking about Alzheimer's disease, I kind of want to say something about Medicare and what Medicare, the coverage that it gives you with the various aspects of Alzheimer's disease, right? Especially for those individuals that are over the age of 65. So, of course, as you know, you have the hospital care, the doctor care, medical items if you need it, of course, the diagnosis and the treatment, the care planning services, any of the medical tests, including x-rays, MRIs, or the routine blood test. But as of November 2022, Medicare does not cover commercially available blood tests specific to Alzheimer's disease. However, some plans may pay for the test on a case-by-case basis. So keep in mind there's also financial aid that may be available directly through the test manufacturer. So I'm not saying it won't cover it completely, but as of November 2022, Medicare does not cover commercially available blood tests specific to Alzheimer's disease. So it's just good for you to be aware of that if you were need a commercially blood test. But again, they look at it on a case-by-case basis. Financial aid may be available. Also, Medicare Part D covers many prescription drugs, but as of June 2023, it does not cover new Alzheimer drugs without confirmatory data. So there needs to be evidence. It's on a case-by-case basis, and that was as of June 2023, and that only applies to new Alzheimer drugs medication. But if you know you're going to take a specific medication, it's always a good idea to, one, talk to your doctor, talk to your pharmacist, call the back of your plan to see how it works, or if you're working with an agent or if you're working with me, please let me know. I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Also, keep in mind that Medicare may also pay for up to 100 days of a skilled nursing home facility, or, of course, hospice care for people who are at near the end of life. But keep in mind that long-term care is not covered by Medicare. This is one of the things that our people are most confused about Medicare, because they think that they're going to get long-term care, right? Most importantly is to have that long-term care policy, or if you qualify for Medicaid, then you'll get that coverage for long-term care. But again, Medicare does not cover long-term care. People with early onset Alzheimer's who are diagnosed in their 40s or 50s may also qualify for Medicare after receiving disability benefits for 24 months. If you have any questions regarding this matter, I welcome you to call us 561-464-2273. Or if you have questions on how Medicare works, I always encourage people to call Medicare at 1-800-MEDICARE. Also, if you have a specific plan, you're welcome to call the back of the card, and I'm sure they'll be more than happy to help you. Or if you're working with a knowledgeable agent, please reach out to them. That's what they're there for, to help you if you have any concerns about a diagnosis or medication. Whatever the story is, that's what they're there for. So again, any questions, please let us know. And we encourage you to send your questions, to reach out. If there's any topics or anything you would like us to discuss, please let us know, 561-464-2273. Thank you, everyone, and I hope everyone has a lovely weekend.
Yep, everyone have a great weekend. Stay dry.
Yes, thank you for listening.
Thanks for listening to Medicare Made Simple with Medicare Myriam and Tracy right here on Legends 100.3. Medicare Made Simple is brought to you by United Insurance Experts. For more information, call 561-464-CARE. That's 561-464-CARE. Tune in next Saturday at 9 a.m. for more Medicare Made Simple with Myriam and Tracy.